Hello and welcome to another tutorial. Today we will see a different kind of clustered bar charts and how you can create many versions with only one basic visual. So let's start. First about me, my name is Catherine. I'm Managing Director of UWA Consulting, founder of Female Fabricator and Power Platform Music Group. You can reach out on Blue Sky. You can also write me an email or reach out on LinkedIn. And you can go on my blog on yodabi.com if you want. And yeah, so let's start. First, this is a very simple clustered bar chart. So you find it, this is a basic in every version since Power BI was founded. So very old, but good. So you see here, this is the standard form you get if you put in, for example, in this case, a sales territory group in the y-axis and then the x-axis, for example, months over months and then revenue. So you can get this version, so this demo on my Git if you want, so you can play around. There's no data needed because the data is in the report. So feel free if you want to play around. And now let's see, I have here a little calendar above the chart, and if I click on it, you can see that the bars are changing because I'm filtering on a specific month and I see the current revenue and I see the months over months. But if we see this in this version, I'm not sure. Of course, it's helpful, but it could be better. So let's see what we can achieve with some little adjustments. So let me make this one a bit smaller. And now we see here we have all these different kinds. The first one, bar chart one. We see here we have the revenue, and above we see the percentual difference. That means if I go, for example, on the next month, I see I have minus 8.8% in this month. Of course, the month over month is in this case negative. And so on. So if I go further, you understand. What have I done in this chart? So let's start with bar chart one. First, I created this one you see here in the middle we talked about. And simply on the y-axis we have the sales territory group and we have the month over month and we have the revenue in it. The only thing I've changed here is if I go on the chart, I go to the bars area. I picked the right colors, so let me do it with the example in the middle. So I go on to month over month, and here I say, okay, this is white, and my revenue is blue, dark blue, and that's it. So you see, it looks like a bit like the bar chart one. Then, of course, some cosmetical adjustments like in the y-axis, we can say we don't need a title. And in the x-axis, we don't need the title and the values. So now it looks clearer, right? So we're nearly there. And then the next step, we go to the data labels. And in the data labels, we switch on the data labels. And next we go on month over month. The month over month, you see, this was the white color bar. And here we say, okay, the labels can be on and the revenue is off. So now we have our values here, which is good. And we see the million. So we want maybe the percentage. For that, we switch back to the month over month, and now we can change the value here in the field under value and say, no, we want the month, we want the percentage, and then we have to say the display units are none. And then we go back to the percentage, to the original format of the column or of the measure. Then we can also change the color if we want. Under color, we can go on the field values and there we can pick my prepared up and down color. And then we see here our color. And then the last thing we have to do is the position to adjust. And then we say we want it inside the base. And now we see here we have it inside the base. And if we switch the month, we see the exact same result as above here in the chart. So it's very simple. With very few clicks, you can create this great visual. Then the next one would be the bar chart 2. It's nearly the same, nearly. So let's see and start from beginning. So we pick the clustered bar chart again. We say we have our sales territory. We pick our month over month and our revenue. So, and then we do the same with first the X and the Y axis. So we change here, we switch off the title. In the X-axis, we switch off the value and the title. And then we go again to the bars. We open the series above. We have first the revenue, which is dark blue, which is okay. And then we open the month over month. And we say here again it is white. But now we add a border. So now we see, oh, we have a border. And if you go above and say not revenue or months, so you say all, then you can collect the layout, or you can click on the layout, switch on the overlap, and then above there is a little slider where you can space between series, and then you can say, okay, I want to make the space a bit tighter. And then you see now we have the same result as above. And now, same thing as before, we have to adjust the data labels. So we go to the data labels, we switch it on, we choose the month over month and say, okay, switch off, because in this case we want to show the percentage in the revenue bar, and say, okay, revenue is on. The position is inside the base. The value, again, we have to change. We click on the field, say month over month percentage, choose display units none, and change the color. So now here we go again to field values. We say here our color up and down, say okay. Okay, now looks not that good, but we have to switch on the background and say background is gray or white or whatever, and then you have to reduce the percentage here so that you see the labels in the bar. And that's it. Very simple, right? So then let's switch to the next one. In this case, I used error bars. For those who don't know error bars, you find error bars in the section under Add Further Analysis to your visual. And in this case, if I click on the chart, I see in the field I have only month over month, and I have the sales territory group. Means I can go here and say revenues out. And now I have to change, of course, color again. Go to my color area here and say it's dark blue. And I can say my data labels. Of course, I have to now to adjust because something's now missing here. And I can say data labels is on. It's okay. We can say inside the base. The value, of course, again, we have to switch to percentage if we want to see the percentage. We have to say display units, again, none. And the color, we can switch again to the field value. Say here, color, again. So you see it is nearly the same every time with some little adjustments. And then we have to turn on the background. Say here again, it is white or gray or the color you want. And now looks good. And the next thing is we have to go to the analysis area, switch on the error bars. Now you see here on month over month, I can put in the upper bound and the lower bound. And the lower bound is 0, which is only a measure with a 0 in it. So if I click on it, you see it's only a 0. And my upper bound will be the revenue. So I can see the difference. Oh, sorry, not 0. my fault. It is, of course, the percentage months over months. So we can see the difference between the month over month, but not the percentage. Of course, we use the normal month over month. The percentage is only the displayed value in the bar. So now you see here we have our markers like above, and now we can adjust it a bit. So we can go to the bars. We can say here the color is gray. The width is maybe 8. So you see now it is a bit bigger. You can also say maybe we make a border, so you see the border of the error bar a bit better. And now it is the same, right? So if I click here now on my calendar, you see it change and it looks very same as in bar chart 3. Okay, the charts below, you see bar chart 4 and 5. There's only one difference in it. First, these both are not using month over month revenue. So these both using the percentage month over month and a 100% measure, which only includes a 1 for the 100%. So I switched the data format to percent, and so I have now my 100%. And now I can see from my months over months how much missing to the 100%. Okay, and now how can we achieve these both visuals? Also very simple. Let's start again with the cluster bar chart. Put in the sales territory. Then we use the months over months as mentioned before, and the 100%. So that's our start point. And then we go to the format area. First, we have to change again the X and the Y axis. We turn off the title in the Y axis. In the X axis, the title and the value. So it looks a bit cleaner. Then we go to the bars. We choose first we can choose all, go to layout. And in the layout, we can switch on our overlap and overlap it 100% so that it's directly on each other. And then we can go above, change the color of months over months into dark blue and the 100% into light gray. And now you see, looks the same, right? And now we go to our data labels, turn them on and say, okay, month over month off and 100% can stay on. And now we say it is inside the end, not outside the end, inside the end. And we change the value again. We change the value not to 100%, doesn't make sense, right? We change it to percent month over month, and then we change simply the color. We go again to our FX to change the color, click on color, type in, and then OK. And now you see same as below. So now you see here the difference between them is that I have here lines, constant lines, which you find also under the add further analysis to your visual area. Here's the constant line. And now you can say I want a constant line for 1.2, for 0.2. I choose color as white and the line style is solid, and maybe we make it a bit thinner. So now you see we have here on 0.2 we have the first line, and then we can add the second line and so on. So you see this, it's no magic, it's just Power BI. And you see now you can go on and add your lines if you want. So you see in which area you are. So if you, for example, switch to another month, I see we have a little problem. So we have to change the position of the month over month to the 100%. So we have to change, and the add data to your visual area, we have to go to the x-axis and change the position of the 100% and the month over month, so you can see the bars. Of course, if it's more in the negative area, you can't see that it's overlapping. But now if you have a month with positive results, you see here now we are, for example, in this area 22. So the first line was here 20, and we see now we are in this area. So it's like a loading bar. I like this version very much. So maybe you also like it. And if you want, you can create it by yourself. As mentioned before, I created a Git. You can go to my page. There's also a link for my Git, and you can also go in the description area where you will find the links. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you want more, you can follow me here on YouTube or also on LinkedIn. I post a tip every day. And yeah, I guess that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we see us in the next tutorial. Bye bye.